Okay, so my name's Anthony Williams. I work for Wales and West Housing. This is Becky Davis, works for Bron Afon. Steve Martin works for Caerphilly Council. No, Gerald's not coming. Sarah's not coming. So there was 5 of us all together in our cohort. We all work in social housing. We've got lots of different experience. Becky's in development. Steve's sustainable. Yeah. I run some repair stuff in Wales and West. So our challenge was statement was, and I am going to read it out, I apologise in advance, how might we use competence life cycle planning and the whole home to use routine maintenance to never miss an opportunity, it's all one sentence as well, so apologies, to improve homes, reduce bills, reduce carbon emissions with the appropriate skills and products available in Wales, residents willing to engage and participate and appropriate funding available. So that's where we started. We finished in a very different place. We recognised it was a huge challenge, I think. But for context, all of us, we've got maintenance schedules, we've got kitchens, bathrooms, windows, doors. Lots of us in the room will recognise what we do. And how do we get our decarbonisation measures that we want to implement to fit into that bigger 30-year cycle? That was the challenge. And we were a bit scared, I think, to be honest. Guided by the CEIC team, we undertook a number of steps to understand our challenge, such as trying to find out who our stakeholders are, looking at our themes. Some of these themes on their own are quite significant, but together we felt they were huge. To do that, we were taught a number of techniques. As mentioned earlier, we were taught how to empathise with stakeholders. We were taught how to design solutions that catered for their needs. We were taught about circular economy and how it can bring real benefits to businesses and communities. And sometimes, like we see here, we used good old-fashioned techniques, which we all enjoyed, I think. I don't know who drew the dragon, but it wasn't me. But I do have an O-level in art, so could have been. And then we used this, for those who've been on everyone used the Miro board. It was quite interesting to use. Difficult, I think, a little bit at first to get the hang of it, but once you did, it's amazing. Something I'm now championing in my organisation. I think overall we felt we were taking on a journey to show us how to design solutions to big problems, but as a collaboration. And I think, unlike some of the guys further west, perhaps we're not as good as collaborating in the Cardiff and Valleys areas. So it's been good. The title of the presentation was The Pledge. As I said, we started with this big idea about the challenge statement of how can we get our decarbonisation measures to marry in with what we're already doing for maintenance. But we ended up focusing on something quite small. I think Becky came up with an idea after mentioning that Becky works in development and had trouble finding products that were recycled, that were reused. And when she did find them, they were quite expensive. So we talked about the idea of a pledge. Becky came up with the idea. Could we get housing associations, local authorities, contractors and suppliers to commit to the idea of the circular economy? So a pledge, like we thought it might end up being something like the green dragon standard, something like that maybe, that you could, we would all pledge this idea of trying to use recycled materials where we could. We wanted to reuse recycled materials, reduce embodied carbon, and we felt that if we were to get enough people to sign up to this pledge, that if the demand was there, that the market might develop, that prices might come down, it might become easier. For those of a certain age, if we build it, they will come. I'm not sure how many. There's a few around, I think, are old enough. We did toy with the idea of coming up with a pledge. We've just been talking about it today. We couldn't remember if we finished at a finished article. But the truth is, what we thought was we wanted somebody, a body, who might be able to take this idea on, that we could all get behind. And the idea of a pledge that would eventually create this market that we could all tap into. Like I said, it's not anywhere near where we started with the big, massive, scary challenge, but something we ended up on, and we thought that it was something that's probably a little bit more achievable. But the big thing, when we talked about this when we met last week, I think it was about the community of practice, was that we've got to know each other. We're not very good at doing that, as I said earlier, in the Cardiff and the Valleys areas. And we've created this network now, and we don't want that to stop. So what we hope is that the shared knowledge and experience we've already shared, for want of a better word, all the new skills we've learned, the fun we've had, and it has been fun, although very embarrassing at times, I've got to say. And if anyone's seen the video that Carla's got, it is quite embarrassing. And although the pledge is something we want to take forward, the big win isn't the pledge at the moment for us. It's about the community of practice. It's about getting to know each other. And so what we're going to do is we're going to meet every quarter or so, we think, and see if we can continue to work on ideas, work on things together. And if anybody from the other cohorts wants to come up to Cardiff, I'll invite you. Just give me your email. I'll even put lunch on. Yeah, and I think that's it for us. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, quite short and sweet. We cobbled something together at the last minute, so apologies. But and I got the short straw. It was rock, paper, scissors, actually, but yeah, I lost.